As my bronchitis drains whatever little energy I have left for me, I have decided to actually wait to do my Loki review because I was raging really hard yesterday. And I have decided, okay, I'm going to calm down. I'm going to wait till the next day, and I'm going to see if I feel the same about this episode. And yes, it's bronchitis. It is not COVID. I actually am fully vaccinated. But anyway, how do I feel about yesterday's episode of Loki? Let's chat. Even after waiting a full day after watching yesterday's episode of Loki, I still feel the same. I'm not as enraged as I was when I actually watched it, but I am annoyed still. Mainly because we learned absolutely nothing about the characters. And this is the third episode in. I learned very little about Sylvie. And even though people call her Lady Loki because of the horns, I don't think she's Loki. I don't think she's a Loki variant at all. But I know very little about her, except for the fact that she knew pretty much everything about the fact that she was adopted and all this other stuff. I don't know much about her to care. I really don't. I still care about Tom Hiddleston's character of Loki because of his past movies that he's been in, and I still care about Owen Wilson, and he wasn't even in this episode. But I wish I knew more about the theme of the entire show, what the big plan was, why she's doing it, why she's angry. And to be honest with you, if she was a Loki variant, she would be a little bit more clever. She's not. She is full on gung-ho, in your face, ready to stab you and gut you. She's that type of chick. But then you also have Loki, who is clever and knows how to get through things in a very sneaky way, but he's not as clever in this one. He's kind of a buffoon. Like, in a way, it's kind of comedic. I'm not really so keen on it. I kind of like it. It is cool for him to be comedic towards the end if he fails a massive plan. But in this case, it's about him and his timeline and his life. I kind of want to see him in a different way. But we didn't know anything about what was going on. Yeah, they bonded a few times. But we know very little about Sylvie, and that drove me nuts. And yeah, they were on Lamentis 1. And especially the fact that he was lamenting the fact that his mom passed, and then she lamented absolutely nothing. But to be honest with you, this episode didn't even feel like filler. It just existed. The big plan that I would have loved to know, I never learned. But then it ended on a massive cliffhanger that just annoyed me even more. Because I'm like, seriously? I learned nothing throughout this whole episode. You explain nothing but very little, very vague comments in this entire episode, only to end on a cliffhanger. Really? And it was also bad enough finding out how Sylvie was able to find out where the timekeepers were was even worse for me. Even cheesier beyond cheesy. And yes, the big plot twist, in a way, I kind of had a feeling that's what it was. It wasn't a big surprise to me, but I want to learn more. This is the third episode in. We should have some idea what's going on, and I'm still just as confused as the first episode. I'm not going to rage, especially the fact that my head is practically swimming right now, and I am not going to rage. But the one thing that pisses me off about this show is that it is a massive train wreck that sucks you in. And even if you want to turn away from it, you can't. You got to find out what's next. Seriously, you have to find out what is going to happen next. And I want to know what's going to happen next. Because I'm going to be honest with you. Lately, these Marvel shows on Disney Plus have not had decent payoffs. I want a decent payoff. And maybe in a strange way, I crave a decent payoff. But anyway, the fact is, I am hoping that episode 4 will be a lot better than this one. How can I rate this? You can't. Just like for those that have actually seen my Hell in a Cell review, that is my rating for this episode. It exists. That's the rating. It just exists. There's no 4, 5, 6. It just exists. I'm really not a fan of this episode, but it just was too entertaining not to watch. I'm hoping that episode 4 is better. But guys, that's it for me. Let me know how you feel in the comments below. What did you think about episode Lament or Lamentis? What did you think about Lamentis as an episode as a whole? What was your favorite? What did you hate about it? Do you feel the same way I do? Because I'm annoyed by Loki so far. I hope that things will change in episode 4. But other than that, y'all, that is it for me. I will talk to y'all later. Peace out.